Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Mark. This is Teresa. We're with Total Health and Wellness. For those of you who don't know us, I'm a certified health coach, and Teresa here is a board certified family nurse practitioner. We like to talk about everything around health and wellness, including especially hormones and metabolic health.
Yep.
So welcome back. For those of you who are new here, glad to have you. And for those of you who are returning, it's great to have you back.
So happy.
Yeah, for sure. And I've been forgetting to say this to everybody who's watching for the last 2 or 3 videos we've done. But I've been telling Teresa, I keep forgetting to wish everybody a happy World Carnivore Month.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, this January is World Carnivore Month. And for those of you who are practicing and participating in that, congratulations. Yep. And we are too. So it's awesome to have you guys.
And if you are participating, get ready to be blown away by your health results. It's pretty spectacular for some things like Crohn's and ulcerative colitis and skin issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of moving along with our theme that we've been going with for 2025 and being a new year and whatnot, we last week we spoke a little bit about it wasn't myths, but it was
how to be part of the health rebellion.
Yeah. So taking back your health or taking charge of your health and part of being a rebellion. So we wanted to kind of piggyback off of that with tonight's video, and we're going to be a lot more hyper focused on this. But tonight's theme kind of falls along of how you can stop falling for the legacy media's scare tactics and lies. Mm-hmm. So I think most people who are watching this channel or this page probably already know that. It's kind of what leads you down the road to find channels like ours and whatnot. Yeah. And we've talked about it a lot. So anyway, I just want to give you guys some interesting information, and I'll kind of give you a little bit of context around it after I tell you guys what I'm about to tell you. So I went and did a little research today with regards to how the media manipulates us and different things that they've done. And right away, it came to mind COVID-19. So, whether you believe what, or you don't believe what the media told you, that's not what I'm here to tell you tonight. I'm just here to focus on some of the things that happened around COVID-19. It's got to make you a little bit suspicious or make you have the hair on the back of your neck stand up a little bit. So I went to Time Magazine, and I wanted to see in the Time Magazine, they've got a place called their cover store. So you can literally go to Time Magazine and you can purchase posters of different covers they've had for magazines over the years. And so whatever their main feature article was going to be about. And so I typed in, and then there's a way to filter the results from that when you're doing the search in their website. So I put in words like pandemic, flu, breakout, lockdown, things like that. And right off the bat, I got 33 different covers of Time Magazine that showed pictures or had articles about what was going on during COVID, or it was pretty much all of it was COVID. It's just been the last 3 or 4 years. Now, what was crazy about it is since the early 2000s, the media, including Time Magazine, has been pushing a lot of articles and a lot of stuff around like these big outbreaks, and pandemics and whatnot, or at least what they're saying could potentially become one. And those covers that I found did not include, I'm looking over here at my notes, the SARS outbreak from 2003, for those of you who remember that, bird flu in 2004, H1N1 in 2009, and then Ebola in 2014. So that all wasn't even included in those 33 articles. So no, couldn't figure out how to go by years and go back to like say 2000 or whatnot. But anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. Then I did a little bit of research as well and looked into COVID advertising. So in the last 4 years, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, just the last 4 years, has spent over $900 million on COVID advertising. So that's the government spending money on advertising for whatever it is the government wants you to do within the whole COVID realm. So that was interesting. $7 billion a year spent on TV ads by Big Pharma in 2021. And then another 250 million of that, additional 250 million was on just the safety and efficacy of their COVID shot. So that was interesting. And then
it's like a commercial for Jaguar. There really are no commercials for the Jaguar car because everyone knows what it's about. So if you think your product is so good, why do you have to spend $7 billion to tell people it's so good?
Yeah, and those first few stats, I'm specifically talking about COVID, but we're moving on. It's not just that, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. So Big Pharma's digital ad spend was in 2022, it was almost $15 billion. Okay. And it's projected to be about 21.64 billion by 2026. And then also we're seeing a huge amount of that spending is going towards things like their GLP-1 drugs. So that's their weight loss and diabetes drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. And what I'm trying to put together and kind of show you guys here is when you have a tremendous amount of money being thrown at these different news organizations, they're going to run with that. And they're certainly not going to put any kind of information out there that's going to be counter to whatever message their sponsors are trying to, in other words, Fox News, I think they, this is not bashing Fox News, just a fact, 90% of Fox News ad revenue comes from pharmaceuticals. And so do you think Fox News is going to go and do anything that's against pharmaceutical drugs by their sponsors?
No. And pharma is heavily involved in like the NFL commercials. And so all that.
Yeah, definitely. So did you have anything you wanted to add to anything I just said?
I don't want to get you off topic, but
no, not at all.
Because you might say this.
Well, I just wanted to cover some things to give people a background of the kind of money that's being thrown at advertising. And it's just not fair to have all this money being thrown to keep you guys scared all the time, or confused by lying to you. So, and it's not just pandemics, COVID, bird flus and things like that. It's the weight loss drugs. It's making you think that you can't, like, genetically you're predisposed to have whatever this disease is, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Unless you take a pill or a shot.
I was just thinking about this the other day. It just popped into my head. I was thinking about how I was thinking the other day, I wonder how many times over my lifetime or a year or a span of time, my body has fought off cancer, or my body has fought off, some sort of chronic progressive disease that I shouldn't be able to fight off. And it's done it. And I didn't even know about it. And the same thing with all you guys watching, and you too, all of us.
Yep. So now I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry. I cut you off. I do that.
It's okay. I'm very short-termed brain.
That's okay. Yeah.
So first of all, this is all fear tactics. That's how they get you to comply and obey. I remember there was one time that you and I were living on the farm. When we moved to Missouri, we moved 2 hours east of here on a 45-acre hobby farm.
We got to visit it this past week.
We did.
Yeah,
it was fun. But you had this old Ford. What was that? 1980?
1986. This was the first diesel that Ford made.
Yeah.
It was an F-250. Yeah.
With an extended cab. We rolled the windows down, had our arms hanging out. We were going back down county roads, back to this place called Rockbridge, which is a functioning mill where we used to live. And we went into the bar. This is probably like 2013 or 14. And just sat down, got some drinks, and watched the waterfall. Mm-hmm. And beautiful. It was right after there was some sort of mass shooting. I remember, I think it was in Orlando. And that was the first time I thought, as we sat down there was a TV in a couple places, and it was just the loop of the shooting. And it's like the loop of the weather and the hurricanes, and it's just the loop of anything bad going on, and it just ramps your fear up and makes you sick. But that's their tactics.
And social media has made it worse because now we have constant exposure. It's not just on the TVs, at the bars or at the, it's the stores that you go into or at your house that are playing all the time. Like when I was a kid, my mom and dad had the news playing all the time on the TV. They had the word live burned into the screen of the TV, for crying out loud, because they never took it off of that channel. But it keeps you in this, the legacy media keeps you in this constant state of this perpetual doom loop, like Teresa was talking about, to keep you trapped in this state of fear and anxiety all the time, or fear and panic. And it's hard to get out of that when you have that constant exposure to it. And that's not healthy, because when we're in those constant, perpetual, elevated states of hyper arousal, you are constantly releasing cortisol. Remember, cortisol is your fear, fight, or flight, a hormone.
Yep.
So, it's not meant to be activated constantly, not even made to be activated multiple times throughout the day. It really should just be, hey, you're going out and you're going to fight off a saber-toothed tiger because you guys were fighting over that carcass of that deer that's over there, and you're going to get that peak or that spike in your cortisol. But now we're just so hyper aroused all the time that cortisol levels are high. And you guys have heard Teresa and I talk about cortisol before, the different effects of that. So,
you can't outwin cortisol.
Oh my gosh, if you're not sleeping, cortisol levels go up. And no matter what you do the next day, studies have shown this, you can't counteract the detrimental effects of the high cortisol from the lack of sleep the night before. And it's the same thing with this.
So we got rid of our TV a long time ago. We don't watch the news. And I know what I was going to say too, the earlier statistics that you were saying. And I was thinking in my head, gee, This is rhetorical. We're also unhealthy. Like we're the fattest we've ever been, the sickest we've ever been. We are, a certain amount of the population of the world, but we use the most pharmaceuticals than the whole entire world. We make up like over 70% of pharmaceuticals in the world. Remember, your food is banned in 30 countries. The food you ate, well, not us, but probably not you anymore, but sometimes the food you're eating, it's banned in 30 countries.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So there is this illusion of choice. So you were talking about Fox News and you were like, nothing specific to Fox, but they're all owned by the same people. And your news media, your radio, there's something called Project Mockingbird. And people that care, like doing things like we do, they will put screens of like hundreds of newscasters and they're all saying the same exact things from all over the world, but for sure our country, United States. And they're saying word for word whatever they've been told to say. And then we even listen to a Christian radio station here in town, and it still mocks, it still follows along the world or the USA talking points.
Yeah, absolutely. Something else. And so you can look up, for those you don't know, you can look up and do your own research. It's not the context of what we're trying to get to here, but Project Mockingbird, that was a Cold War era CIA program. So you can look that up. And then also something that a lot of people don't talk about in this space when you're going down the road of what do you want to call them, conspiracy theories or whatever. I won't go there, but I read a book a while back called Propaganda. It was by Edward Bernays. So he is what's called a social engineer. So that book was a fantastic wake-up call for me. And Edward Bernays, the social engineer, he did so many things throughout his career. He actually kind of felt bad about some of the things that he did because it was so borderline immoral or unethical or whatever you want to call it. But Propaganda by Edward Bernays is a big wake-up call for you if you're interested in that kind of stuff.
What was one of the things? Was it wedding rings?
Fluoride in the water was one of them. Wedding rings. There was a lot of stuff I don't even remember. It's been some years since I read the book. Yeah,
but back to illusion of choice. So even when you go down the aisles, which we don't want you going the aisles of the grocery store.
Yes.
Once you're going in the perimeter.
Perimeter.
You may go down the shampoo aisle and you may see 49 options for shampoo and conditioner. But if you really knew what to look for, there's really only 4 umbrella companies that has those 49 products. So it's this big illusion of choice. So, what are oh, go ahead.
No, same thing with the food companies. Same thing with the pharmaceutical companies. There's just there's the big dogs, the big players, even the financial world. They will scream that the sky is falling all the time in the financial world. We're gonna have a next financial crisis that happened back, in 2007. Anyway.
And you could say, I'm going to boycott blank, the company, food company, but then you don't realize you're eating 3 more things of their food that they produce. So anyway, the bottom line is to get your news from other places, really turn your TVs off, and they're not out to help you.
That's the big takeaway from this, guys, is we're trying to help you go into 2025 armed with knowledge and being able to circumnavigate this crazy system that we have built in this country right now. And one of the ways you can do that is avoiding this propaganda. And, we hope and pray all the time for you guys. We're always praying for Teresa's patients, for our listeners
Whoever
and viewers.
Hears our voice,
anybody who's watching, we're praying that you guys will have ears to hear and eyes to see, what's happening right in front of you. And it's a big part of our mission here.
I forgot what I was going to say again.
Oh, because I keep talking over you.
I'm not sure. I don't know. If I was ever in a presidential debate, I'd really do bad. I'd have to write stuff down.
Well, you could always have a teleprompter up in front of you, And so we have a dry erase board over here that just has some talking points written down. So every now and then you probably see us.
More your notes, and I just like to go off the fly, but apparently I can't even remember when I get a fleeting thought.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I do want to say LowCarb USA Boca is coming up. January. Well, go to their lowcarbusa.org because we're going for longer, but it's coming up in January in Boca Raton, Florida. We will be there. Dr. Tro is speaking. I think Dominic D'Agostino from my alma mater, USF.
Ben Bickman.
Oh, I think I said that when Doug and Pam were here, and they're like,
well, we didn't get it or not yet. Okay, got it.
So I'd have to go back and look, but we love everybody. And the first day is all about women's hormones.
Yeah, that's going to be super cool. Oh, and then they also have vendors there, which is nice too, because you can see the vendors who have like the natural products, like the what is it, like the skincare products, tallow-based skincare products. So a lot safer, chemical free. And then of course Rosette, Dr. Tro's wife, will be there with her Rosette's mixed stuff, so you guys can look at what she has to offer, and they're just all super cool to talk to. Who else is there? There's a lot of
I should have looked.
Fat Mom was there for a while. Dry
Yeah,
Farm Wines will be there.
Keto Mojo.
Keto Mojo, so for the glucose and ketone monitoring, things like that. Dry Farm Wines always comes and sponsors out there. Not that we're advocating alcohol, but it is low carb alcohol.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know something else. I did just look at your notes.
Okay.
And so when I was looking up Project Mockingbird just to see technically what it was going to say, I said, let me look on Wikipedia to see what the opposite's going to be. And Mark said, Wikipedia is about to go bankrupt. And it just makes me think, oh, this is what I was going to say. People are waking up, because I was going to say, when you were talking about all this, what are peons like us supposed to do about it? Because we can't go up against those deep pockets.
I feel like you can't make a difference sometimes, but you can.
But just knowing what's yay or nay is a big deal. Just being able to see through their lies, essentially just go against the opposite of whatever the experts are saying.
Yeah, and I think Wikipedia, I don't have any background with regards to looking into the bankruptcy, but they were doing some money raising, and they said that they're in trouble. And I feel like it was because they got a lot of backlash, because they've been going through and they've been censoring a lot of stuff that they don't find politically or ideally, aligned with their beliefs for their running, the people who are running Wikipedia. So I believe that's causing probably part of their problem, if not the main reason why they're having a problem.
You know what else I was going to say is, when I was little, I hated the news, because nobody likes the news when you're little. But my parents, would have the news on. It would be like Walter Cronkite. Yeah, Cronkite. And so you watched your local news, but then you watched the world news, and it was just an hour. And if they didn't get everything in, you missed it. Like, you didn't know everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Now we know every single thing that's going on in every little town and municipality in the whole entire planet.
Yeah.
It's a weird phenomenon.
Yep. That constant state of hyper-arousal.
And like Fox News and CNN News, they have some sort of, something going on, like a different segment every hour or half hour. Like, it's nonstop. Just don't look at it.
Right.
Don't look.
All right, guys. Well, I think that'll probably wrap it up for tonight. And, if you guys find that any of this information was helpful, please give us, thumbs up, likes, subscribe, follow, depending upon whatever flavor you're on. And just for those of you guys who are only on one platform, we're on 3. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram. So if you guys want to follow us on any of those other platforms that you're not on, feel free to do so.
Yeah.
And as always, we love you
so much.
God bless you. And we'll see you next time. And don't forget, food matters.
Food matters.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.